The storm desk. Read the storm, book the roofs, the hail just came through, and your phone won't stop. 40 storm files in 3 days. Photos buried in text threads, no signed contracts, and a representative in a driveway promising the carrier pays for everything. That's not a department. That's a pile of jobs waiting to bleed margin and license. By the end of this, you'll know how to build an insurance claim department in 5 steps that scales storm volume without crossing into unlicensed adjusting. One line runs it. You own the roof facts. The insurer owns the coverage call. Start with why storm work needs its own department. A retail re-roof is clean. You sell it, build it, collect. A claim job has a third party in the room, the insurer, and that party controls a big share of the money, sets a documentation bar you didn't write, and runs on a clock you don't control. Handle a claim like a cash deck job, and you bleed in predictable spots. Scopes the carrier underpays, supplements nobody files. Receivables that stall because depreciation never got released. A department makes those steps deliberate. Here's the line, and it's not subtle. An in-house claim department is a construction documentation job, not an adjusting job. Public adjusting means representing the homeowner to settle the claim for a fee. The day your staff negotiate claim value or advertise that they'll fight the carrier, you may be adjusting without a license. In June 2024, the Texas Supreme Court ruled in Stonewater Roofing that a roofer cannot be both contractor and adjuster on the same property. Roughly 40 states have similar laws. Document, don't adjust. Step 1. Define legal roles and ban tasks before you hire anyone. The first deliverable isn't a job posting. It's a one-page ban tasks list. Every staffer signs at onboarding. Do not say a loss is covered or will be approved. Do not interpret policy language. Do not negotiate claim value as the homeowner's representative. And never waive, rebate, or absorb the deductible. That one is criminal in several states. But the list has a second column. You may describe what you saw with photos, write an estimate, perform temporary protection, and walk construction scope with an adjuster. The list isn't a muzzle, it's a fence. Know the 4 parties, because they overlap less than roofers wish. The policyholder files the claim and owns it. The insurer investigates the loss and decides coverage under the policy. The public adjuster, where licensed and hired, may represent the homeowner for a fee, and in most states can't also be the contractor. You, the contractor, inspect, document, measure, estimate, build, and invoice. You describe damage and scope. You do not adjust. Put that on a roll chart and make sure the person who sells isn't the only one who documents. Step 2. Build intake and documentation standards that hold up later. Claims are won or lost on documentation, and documentation is won or lost on the first call. Capture a fixed field set every time. Active leak, yes or no, and where. Date of loss if they know it. Safety hazards. Roof access. And the lead source, so you learn which channels produce real jobs. Take the insurer name and claim number only if the homeowner volunteers it. And never let intake ask, is this covered? The line is, we document and write an estimate. Your insurer decides coverage. Then standardize the photo set, because adjusters reward evidence, not effort. Force a capture list on every inspection. 4 full house elevation shots. Each slope, ridge, and valley. A marked 10 by 10 test square, a chalked area where you count the hits. Soft metals like gutters and vent caps, the collateral hail tells. Every photo gets a wide context shot and a close-up with a date. A bruise with no slope and no date supports nothing. And record what you did not inspect. An honest gap protects you more than a silent one. Step 3. Separate inspection, estimating, and claim communication. The most expensive mistakes happen when one person does all 3 in a driveway. Inspection shoots facts, not coverage conclusions. Estimating turns conditions and code into a written scope and price. Claim communication sends documents, and that's where wording risk lives. So a reviewer signs off on anything that touches policy, coverage, or money. That stops a representative from blurting, your carrier has to buy this roof. Give field staff exact scripts. Asked if it's covered, you say, coverage is your insurer's call. I'll document and estimate. The adjuster meeting has its own protocol. You're allowed to be there and discuss construction scope. You are not allowed to negotiate the claim. Before, bring measurements, the photo set, and the written scope, and confirm the homeowner authorized you to attend. During, point to conditions, hand over photos, explain code-required components, and walk the same test squares the adjuster walks. Do not argue coverage, demand a number, or claim to represent the insured. After, write a neutral summary. The Stonewater Court itself said a contractor may discuss repair scope and cost. Stay on scope. Step 4. Scope, code, and supplements. The part that protects your margin. A carrier's first estimate is often written low because the desk adjuster works hundreds of miles away and never saw the roof. Recovering the real cost is a documentation exercise, not a negotiation. And that's what keeps it legal. Back every scope line with a photo or a code citation. Drip edge, the metal at the roof edge, is required by the International Residential Code. Starter strip and ridge cap to manufacturer instructions or the warranty voids. Cite the code edition and the supplement becomes a fact. Now own the supplements or lose the money. A supplement is an itemized request to the carrier for line items, prices, or code components the first estimate missed. Most carriers and contractors estimate and Xactimate, the standard claims pricing software, so it drops cleanly into their workflow. File at 2 points. Pre-installation, once the full scope is known. And post-installation, when tear-off exposes rotten decking. If nobody owns supplements, they don't get filed, and the gap comes out of your margin. Name an owner. Step 5. Lock down money, records, and compliance. Claim money arrives in pieces on someone else's clock. Map the stages. The actual cash value check, paid first. The deductible, the homeowner's share. The supplement. Then the depreciation, released after you file completion docs. The deductible row is where laws bite. Texas makes waiving or rebating a property deductible a misdemeanor, and a contract over $1,000 must state in writing that the homeowner pays it. Oklahoma, effective November 2025, bars even advertising to pay part of it. Don't let a representative call it a discount. 2 more traps, then a routine. First, assignment of benefits, where the homeowner signs the claim proceeds over to you. Florida banned it for policies issued on or after January 1st, 2023, and a 2025 court rejected a workaround. Don't build your payment model on assignment without confirming it's still legal there. Second, keep marketing honest. Never run the phrases regulators cite, like a guaranteed claim outcome or a no-cost roof from insurance. And keep a 1-page state rule sheet, because a phrase that's fine in one market is a misdemeanor in the next. Here's where Roof Predict fits, and where it doesn't. Most claim departments are reactive. They wait for the storm call. The stronger ones work the front end. Roof Predict pairs an estimated roof age range with storm physics modeled per individual home, scoring which roofs in a hit area a storm most plausibly wore out, so your canvas team skips the brand new ones. It does not inspect, diagnose, or decide coverage. Roof age is a planning range, not a date. The list starts the route. The inspection earns the job. Close the loop. A claim department is a documentation machine, not an adjusting desk. Define legal roles and ban tasks. Standardize intake and the photo set. Separate inspection, estimating, and claim talk behind a reviewer. Own your scope, your code citations, and your supplements. Then lock down the money and never touch the deductible. You own the roof facts. The insurer owns the coverage call. A good department never confuses the two. Build on that line, and the next hail season becomes a queue you run, not a pile that runs you.